Hey everybody, thank you for joining me here at Friendship Shaving for another Stirling Monday. I hope you're doing well today, and I've got a lovely soap to share with you today. It is Stirling's Evie, and this is a really nice smelling soap. It is a nice sort of mild to medium strength scent, and it is a mixture of clean citrus, a fresh floral, along with a fruity scent as well. I think this could easily be used as a unisex soap. I certainly really enjoy the smell, but it is a strange mix, as I'll tell you in a moment. The razor today, well, I wonder if you can guess what it is. There it is on the windowsill. I'm using the Solar Flare brush from PAA. As usual, I've got a lovely lather with this Stirling soap. Never any trouble there. But the scent of this is has top notes of mango, strawberry, grapefruit, apple and lime. It has mid notes of freesia, lily of the valley and vanilla, and then it settles down into base notes of amber, musk and tonka bean. I've got to say, in that initial scent I can pick up the strawberry, a little bit of the apple and the lime, and perhaps there's a little hint of the floral just coming through there, but it is a really nice soap. Very well blended. I tend to sort of not pick out florals too much, but this is a nice mix of all sorts. Now, the razor today is one that I've had replated, and I'll talk about that a little bit more as we get going. The razor blade I'm using is a Gillette Black Super Platinum on its second use. Now this of course is a vintage Gillette. A British razor. And it is a fantastic shave. Absolutely brilliant. It's quite a rare one. I suppose, as with all British Gillettes, there weren't so many produced as the Americans, but there is a British version of this and a French version. And it is in fact a British Goodwill razor. And towards the end of the shave I'll take it apart a little bit for you, just so I can show you. maybe been able to see by now that it is based on the Gillette New. The Goodwill, I know many of you know, was made from parts of the Gillette New razor and also parts of their old type razor. Which they'd phased out in favour of a new style of razor blade. And the Goodwill was produced in 1931 for a few years, depending on the type, but this one I think is a really, really lovely shave. As usual, smashing glide and slickness with this soap. So let me show you the razor. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but I had this replated recently by Razor Emporium, and it came back and something about the replating surprised me, because can you see in the centre of the head cap there, you can see the centre post. There's that little circle right in the middle. Now, I didn't realise that that was going to happen, and in fact I have seen it once before on a replated razor. And it got me looking at some of my older razors, and you can definitely see the circle on some of my older three-piece razors. And in fact, the Fatip Grande that I used the other day, when you catch it in a certain light, has that same circle. So it obviously is a thing. Apparently, to get rid of that, you would have to, what they call, braise the top, and you'd have to file that down and all sorts of stuff. Now I have a Canadian Goodwill, and that has got a satin finish, and that circle doesn't show through on the satin finish. So for me, it's a little lesson there. I think that if I was going to have a razor, a three-piece razor like this, replated it again in the future, I think I'd go with a satin finish. Unless there was some particular detail on the head cap that I wanted to keep. They've done quite a good job with this Razor Emporium. There are a couple of like little flea bites in the finish in certain parts, and there is, I can't see it in this light because I've used it, but there is a tiny little scratch just on one of the corners, but it appears to be underneath the chrome. So now the head cap wasn't in fantastically good condition when it went to them. So perhaps Perhaps they are limited by the condition of the razor that they are replating, although I have another razor from them that has been replated recently. And that one has some brassing on the head cap where either the nickel plate has gone on too thinly or they've polished one side of it a little bit too heavily once it has been plated. So of course I'm waiting to see what kind of condition my Gillette toggle comes back from them after it has been replated in gold. I really hope it is in really nice condition. Because my friend Sven has been particularly unlucky with Razor Emporium. On a number of occasions, and let's just leave it there for the moment. But I've really got my fingers crossed that when it comes to my toggle, that will knock the ball out of the park for me. I'm really hoping for a spectacular result there. Fingers crossed, eh? Do you know, the scent of this is beautiful. It's not losing. You know sometimes how you have a soap and you smell it in the pot. And as you lather up, it loses the scent a little bit. There's none of that with this soap. It's staying about the same. Yeah, I would say the lower end of medium. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. Now this is quite an aggressive little shaver, but because it's got a long comb, it is a little less aggressive than the shorter comb razors that came out about the 1930s. I'm just riding back on the cap a little bit there, going against the grain. I'm doing short strokes on the bits of my neck and my face that tend to be a little more tender. I believe this British Goodwill was part of a little set that they called the Empire set. Now I've been looking for some old advertisements with this razor, but I haven't found any. Now there are two cases you can get. One says made in England and the other one says import d'Angleterre. Imported from England for the French market. There we are, I'm done. Let me just take this apart for you. Take the razor blade out. And I'll just give the head, cap and the guard plate a quick rinse. Don't want to be showing you a mucky razor, do I? So there we are, you can see the guard plate there. Perhaps you can see made in England by my thumb at the bottom. And it's got the reverse studs there. And then the difference between the British Goodwill and the standard American is that the head cap has circular, what would you call that? Circular parts in it to fit the reverse studs. The American one has square parts milled out of it. Parts, what am I talking about? Indentations, that's a better word, isn't it? And like all Goodwills, it seems to be a bit loose and a bit wobbly till you get the blade on. And then it all tightens up lovely. Now I've had a spectacularly good shave. It really is a nice razor. As I say, it is a little bit aggressive. And I can definitely feel that I've had a close shave. But it's not uncomfortable. It's not drastically uncomfortable, you know, it's just a little, the usual feeling you get when you get an aggressive razor. Now, in order to keep some of this lovely scent, I'm going to use a Nivea Men today. I'm still trying to use it up. Oop, crikey, that was a lot came out then. That's one way to use it up. I'll put some up there. Some on my arms as well. That's how much I've got in my hand. So that is my shave for this week. Thank you very much for joining me and being a part of that. I hope the Gillette Goodwill was of interest to you. I've got some really good items coming to the den and a couple that I've got that I've been saving to show you. So next Monday we'll probably just have a sit down and an unboxing and a gift of friendship in the den. But until then, I'll see you on Friday, and there'll be a little giveaway on Friday, so I'll see you for that. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye bye now.